Hello, I'm Joltic Shock and welcome to a bit of a different video to my last series. This one's going to be obviously a bit different because this is just going to be me talking for however long, but it's because I want your input on what we do next on the channel. But before we get into the main talking points, I wanted to say thank you so much for all the love that everyone's given me across that first series on the channel. It was my first time ever attempting recording a Nuzlocke, so the support was genuinely amazing to see and it was so much fun to make. But the reason I'm making this video is because I want your help choosing the next game for the next Nuzlocke series. I've got a few things in the works that I would like to announce now, and also just to get some feedback if any of you have watched the series on what I can maybe do better and work on over the next coming weeks before the next series starts. So the first thing, which is obviously the biggest part of the video, is the next game that we play. Now I already have two ideas, which are both games that I've mentioned in passing over the course of the series, but two games that I think would be brilliant for not only me to play, but for you to watch, because both of them are taken in such high regard amongst the community as some of the best Pokemon games that has ever been made. And those two games are Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum. Now the reason I've chosen both these games is that Pokemon Emerald is by far one of my most favourite games that have ever come out in the whole series. And the region, the Pokemon, just the way it looks, that Game Boy Advance style is just really, really nice. But the reason I'm also thinking of Pokemon Platinum as well is because I've never really had the chance to play Pokemon Platinum all the way through yet. I have played Gen 4 before, so I've played Pokemon Diamond, I played the remakes on the Switch, and I also have played Heart Gold, Soul Silver, which, yeah, are Gen 2 remakes, but still fall within the Generation 4 kind of DS style. Now, just because those two are the ones that I'm thinking of, doesn't mean it has to be those two. I'm very much open to ideas, which is why I'm making this video in the first place. You can choose any main series game, apart from maybe Nintendo Switch onwards, because I don't really know how to randomize them just yet. So that'll be something way in the future that I'll look into. But anything up to the 3DS in the main series of games, I'm very much down to play. But it doesn't have to be even an official Pokemon game. It can also be a fan-made ROM hack. Say, for example, Pokemon Unbound. Now, with those games, I won't have much knowledge around them, because at least with the other games, I've at least played through at least once, but maybe not all versions of a certain generation. Now, Pokemon Unbound is really good. I've been playing that myself on my own DS, but I haven't made it all the way through it yet. But my impression so far is that it's a really good game, and obviously if you wanted to see something like that, I'd be absolutely happy to give it a go. Providing that it can be randomised in a way that won't break the game or anything. Obviously, whatever you suggest, I'll end up probably doing some research into just to make sure it does work. But for any of you that do have any ideas or either agree with either two of my choices, then just make sure you leave a comment down below, because anyone who gives any ideas, suggestions or comments, yous will be the first people I pick to have names for in the next series. In the first series, obviously being my first one, I didn't really have too much to go off. Anybody who commented on my videos, I tried to get names for. Obviously, by the end, the encounters became a bit less and a bit harder to catch, so it slowed down a bit, and in the times where I didn't have any comments to go off, I was just choosing friends that I knew were watching. So yeah, if you want to see your name in the next series and, you know, you want to carry me as much as Steven did in the last series, which if you haven't watched that yet, by the way, I'll make sure to link the playlist down below so you can go and catch up on it, because it was just brilliant. It was a rough start, but we really picked up through the series. Now, I know some of you out there would probably really like me to play Radical Red, and I've tried it before, but that one is a bit more of a challenge game, and I think right now, because I'm so new to Nuzlocke and my Pokemon knowledge is average at best, I think The difficulty of that is quite high, but I would love to do it in the future sometime. As I learn and my knowledge grows, I should be able to get to a point where maybe I can tackle it and I can accept the challenge. But for now, let's keep it simple. I mean, I had difficulty enough in the Pokemon White Nuzlocke with some battles because, my god, with everything randomized, anything can happen. But the next thing as well is that I am on the lookout for anyone who would potentially like to do a 1v1 Nuzlocke. I do have an old friend from college who's interested, but we haven't talked too much on it. And I think it would be really good if another small creator, we could start a series together where we share episodes on the channel and just be able to do those longer form videos where we can talk a bit more and stuff like that. So if you're watching this right now and you have a Pokemon channel or are thinking about starting one, then drop a comment below and then maybe we can go on a Discord and maybe talk about it a bit more and see if it's something that we would be happy to do. Because with these kind of videos, you're with each other for so long and talking so much that you need to make sure you have the chemistry there. So it's not something we could jump into straight away. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is what's in the works currently. Now, there's two big things coming up that are still in the works and I might need some more time to work on because I need to get things set up and just figure out how to make it work. The main one is that I've been thinking that I want to live stream to YouTube. Now, I've never live streamed on YouTube, but I did used to stream on Twitch on an old account. But with YouTube, I feel like keeping everything in one place would make it really good. Plus, people can just straight away watch the VODs on my channel. But then using those VODs, I could then create the videos from them. And that would help me be able to interact more with the community and have more of a personal experience whilst also still managing to get the videos out. Because for me, I do work a full-time job and I have lots of other commitments in life. So I don't always have a lot of time to do the video recording, which is why I stick very firmly at the moment to one video a week. I can manage that very easily without stressing over it. And obviously, with such a busy schedule in my day-to-day life, streaming would also have to fit into that somewhere, and I'll probably figure it out, but I don't think I'd be able to stream loads through the week or every night or anything like that. It would maybe be 2 times a week at best, because I also then need the time in my free time to then edit the videos, which does take quite a long time. With the last series, most of the shorter videos were still me recording for an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, and then spending a couple of hours to cut everything up and proof watch it and add any little edits here and there. In the finale video, I was recording for nearly 3 hours, which is why that video is nearly an hour long itself, but brilliant video, totally worth it. But with streaming, obviously, I then need a way of being able to let everyone know when these streams are coming, which leads me to the next announcement, is that I currently have a Discord server under construction. So it's not made yet. I need to take some time to be able to set it up properly, make sure it all functions nicely, get the bots in, get roles added and stuff like that, so that when I eventually release it to all of you people, it's made in a way that I'm happy with the appropriate channels, the appropriate roles, and it would give me a way of, again, interacting with the community a bit more, because I think that'd be really cool. I know Pokemon's got a really great community around it, and I'm sure there's so many people out there that I can learn so much from. But speaking of learning from people, my last talking point is if you have any tips for me. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll probably notice straight away that it's not super high quality, layout and stuff like that. And my editing is alright, but I'm not spectacular. I am going to be spending some time over the next few weeks looking into improving my editing game by using more software and seeing what I can implement into the videos that makes sense. I don't want to just throw in loads of random effects and stuff that isn't needed. So I want to ask you, if you have watched the videos, what do you think could be done differently or better? Or should I just keep it the same? Because as it goes at the moment, my videos are quite heavily cut for when I'm speaking. Because as you know, with Pokemon games, there's times where I'm going through routes, just doing trainer battles that aren't always that hard. And I probably won't say much because it just is what it is. But if you would like me to try and do longer form content, so rather than 20-30 minute videos, my videos are more 1 hour long, I can certainly give that a go if that is what you would like to see. Otherwise, I can just keep it the same where the videos are still a decent length, but there's no awkward silences or anything like that. Because the last thing I want to watch is just someone sat in silence walking around a video game like Pokemon. You know, you kind of need that speaking and stuff. So yeah, again, any tips, any recommendations, suggestions for games and stuff like that, drop me a comment below. And if you're also a small creator who wants to do a 1v1 series, then let me know. We can get talking on Discord and we can see what we can make work. I think it'll be really good. And lastly, before we end this video, I just want to say that I'll probably take a break for a couple of weeks whilst I wait for anyone's comments to come in, and also setting up the new series, so the new layout, what game it's going to be. Then I also need to set up the Discord server, and that'll probably go live before I start streaming, because I need to do a bit of looking into how I do it through YouTube and, you know, the settings I have to do and all that. Anyway, if you've made it all the way to the end here, thank you very much for sticking around and listening to me yap. Once more, thank you again for all the support on my first ever series on the channel. It's just spectacular, and I will see you in the next video.